Hello everybody, this is Brisbane05 Blast here and welcome back to another video of this channel. In this last episode, we did a Manchester United vs Arsenal match and yeah, it was a pretty close game. It was like a deja vu of last season's Manchester United vs Arsenal match, which happened at Old Trafford, where Arsenal scored first, but Manchester United completing the comeback. And yeah, I mean, Arsenal did win that game in real life. They won that match 3-2. Well, I mean, in real life, I meant in a YouTube channel called Trevor Sports. So, yeah. Just make sure to look at his channel. He has a lot of good videos. So, yeah. And, yeah, I mean, currently, today and this week, Arsenal has been having underwhelming. I mean, they've been performing pretty underwhelming recently. I mean, they just lost to Sheffield Wednesday, 3-1. Whereas Manchester United really just stood up their business and got the job done over Wimbledon, 2-0. So yeah, next game is up against, we're taking on Liverpool in the Trevor Sports universe, I would say. Whereas Manchester United are taking on Blackburn Rovers. But we're not going to be talking about these two matches yet. Today's episode, just to prove to you that I'm not an Arsenal bias and I'm making Arsenal videos every time, we're actually going to be doing something different. Yes, we're going to go outside the top 5 leagues. We're not going to do Premier League. We're not going to do La Liga. We're not going to do Bundesliga, no Liga, no Serie A. We're going to go to the Scottish Premier League. Yes. Because there seems to have a rivalry which is saying. These rivalries could get very close. I've already done an El Clasico rivalry back at FIFA 18. Well, this time, we're actually going to be doing a Scottish rivalry. The two Glasgow teams facing each other. Yes, it's Celtic taking on Rangers. So Celtic have basically been like Liverpool, I would say, of Scotland, and Rangers, I would say, would be like Everton. So basically, Celtic have dominated Scottish Premier League, whereas Rangers, they've basically been like the shadows, the little brothers of Celtic. So yeah, but I really cannot wait to see how things go here. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. You might see familiar foes like players who played in the Premier League or any leagues that they've played in. So yeah, please make sure to like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get to FC24 to start the Old Firm. Yes, that rivalry is called Old Firm, which is Celtic taking on Rangers. Alright guys, we're here to see Celtic taking on Rangers, which is taking place at Celtic Park. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be a pretty good contest because I've been doing Premier League videos for quite a while. So it's about time that we actually go outside the top 5 leagues and do a certain rivalry from Scotland, and that is Celtic taking on Rangers. So basically, Celtic has been pretty good recently. I mean, they're about to win another Scottish Premier League. And Rangers, I mean, like I said, they're like the little brothers. I've basically not followed Scottish Premier League recently. It's mostly the Premier League that I'm mostly focusing on, I'm mainly focusing on. But just like I really wanted to prove to you that I'm not a Arsenal favorite, basically. And Brendan Rodgers is actually the manager of Celtic. He actually coached Liverpool and Leicester City, 2 Premier League clubs. But as you already saw, Joe Hart is actually the goalkeeper of Celtic. He actually had history in the Premier League. So yeah. And here's Suta. And as you already saw, there's Jack Butland, James Tavernier, Lundstrom, and obviously we have Cyril Dessers. But yeah, Jack Butland has actually had history in the Premier League. I don't know. But yeah, Michael Biley is actually the coach for Rangers. But yeah, this is since Scottish Premier League. So basically, Celtic's national anthem is basically like, it's closely like the Liverpool You Never Walk Alone. So basically, Liverpool, Borussia Dortmund, and Celtic, all three have in common. They all three have the same slogan, You Never Walk Alone. Because I can hear by the soundtrack that this is actually the You Never Walk Alone song. So yeah. So it looks like Celtic is actually going to be starting the kickoff first. I really cannot wait to see how things go. Too bad that only the top 5 Premier League teams only have a sick intro, but just not the outside top 5 leagues. But anyway, here's Furuhashi. He finds Ralston, but Ralston just mistimes the touch, and it's going to be a throw in here for Rangers. Barisic is the one to have it. He finds Ruskin. And now here's Suta. But what a tackle from Furuhashi. It's still Furuhashi. Celtic are on the attack. But what a tackle from Suta. Now it's actually a corner kick here for Celtic. Man, the song is literally echoing, bruh. Yup, you can hear the You Never Walk Alone song. As you already saw, Celtic had the corner, but it was deflected, but it's still with Celtic. But then again, Sim Abdullah has the ball. He finds Cyril Dessers. Dessers finds Lammers. Lammers finds Lundstrom. But Taylor has it, because Lundstrom did manage to butcher that pass. And now Celtic are again on the attack. But Suta with a good tackle. This guy is literally doing pretty well. Now here's Barisic. He finds Suta. It's still Suta. Suta finds Dessers. Still Dessers. Dessers is on the attack. There's no one to stop him apart from the Celtic defenders right there. They were all marking him. Came in just in the nick of time, but it's still with Lammers. Rangers are still on the attack, but Starfield with a good tackle manages to get this one away. It's been a while since we actually saw Celtic in FC 24. I've never actually seen the Celtic, honestly. In real life, this is actually the second time that I'm actually seeing them. The first time was obviously on cut film where they were up against Barcelona. And that was it was a jam-packed stadium, I would say, at Celtic Park. It was pretty close, honestly. The fans, they were literally cheering for Celtic to win this match, but yeah, Barcelona literally just went over them. But anyway, Celtic have the opportunity to at least get a goal here. But Suta was there to mark this one, as there were no other Celtic players to come and support. And now Rangers are thinking of something, but they're still on defensive duties, I would say. I mean, they're still on their zone. And like I said, Celtic still has it. Now here's O'Reilly. It's still O'Reilly. Still O'Reilly, but Goldson tackles him. He finds Darwell. Tavernier is now actually playing in the Premier League. He's now actually the captain for Rangers in this game. But now he's actually having a Premier League experience, because he's actually joining Bournemouth. He's actually playing for Bournemouth. And speaking of Tavernier, Tavernier just literally went past through the defense and just scored past Joe Hart. As now, Rangers, out of nowhere, are now actually in front over their big brothers Celtic. And it was actually a wonderful pass to Marcus Tavernier, the skipper for Rangers, and he manages to coolly, calmly score that one. Joe Hart literally just embarrassed himself right there. But what a goal from the right back. James Tavernier. Sorry, I kind of said his first name wrong. So yeah, James Tavernier, the right back of Rangers, gives them the lead. And now Celtic are literally on the back foot. They need to think of something. Turnbull with a good pass, but Barisic intercepts this one. Now he finds Darwell. Darwell finds Goldson. So basically, Tavernier, I said earlier, he actually now has a Premier League experience, because he's now playing for Bournemouth. And Bournemouth are currently on the hunt for Europe competition, I would say. Well, not in Champions League, but any competition in Europe. Maybe they could be there for Conference League or Europa League. We just don't know. But anyway, Ralston on the attack. He finds Abada. Still Abada manages to skill past the Rangers defender there. Still Celtic. Abada finds O'Reilly, but what a block from Raskin. And Raskin manages to get this one away. Now it's with Darwell. Darwell finds Lammers. Lammers on the attack finds Tavernier, who's already scored a goal here for Rangers. Can he do it again with an assist? Well, Joe Hart does collect this one, and that too with an acrobatically collect. Can Celtic get a goal before halftime? I don't think they will. Rangers have it. They could either kill the time or maybe get the second goal. But as it stands, the little brothers of Glasgow have an early lead over Celtic. And who else but James Tavernier to separate the sides? The captain for Rangers to separate these two sides. So it's half time. It's Rangers 1, Celtic 0. We're going to take a look at the highlights, honestly, because highlights have performed pretty good replays. And as you already saw in the 31st minute, the only highlight of the game, a wonderful goal from James Tavernier. Too good for Joe Hart. But yeah, I mean, Rangers and Celtic both have one shot. But obviously, in their first attempt, Rangers did get a goal, and Celtic's first attempt, they just couldn't find the goal, or find the net, I would say. But looks like we're going to go to second half. And I think Rangers, for the time being, are now making some changes, but they are going to be kicking off in the second half. Well, technically Celtic, however, has an injury crisis on their hands, and it's Ralston who has picked up a knock. And McGregor's actually got a booking for that hard tackle on one of the Rangers players. And now Ralston, who's actually injured, is trying to actually carve through the defense. But because of his condition, I think that might have taken a toll on him. And our Rangers are really on the attack right now. Here's Dessers. But what a tackle from Carter Vickers. He finds McGregor. McGregor finds Furuhasi. It's still Furuhasi. Furuhasi finds Abada. But what a tackle from Suta. Can Celtic get one goal back? We don't know. It's Cyril Dessers with it. Dessers finds Tavernier. What can Tavernier do? Tavernier crosses this one. This could be a goal. It is. What a comfortable touch from Seema. And guess who has assisted that goal? It's Tavernier. James Tavernier has assisted. Yup, he actually had a touch on it. What a cross from Tavernier. Seema with a wonderful touch and managed to score this one. And now, the little brothers of Glasgow, I was about to say Celtic for a second, are actually having a double lead over their big brothers Celtic.
Just like to send a special message to Tony Rankin today. Happy birthday, Tony. Everybody loves you and is thinking about you.
Well, this is terrible here for the big brothers themselves. What can they do? It's Taylor. Still Taylor. Taylor finds Maeda. It's still Maeda with it. But can he still keep it on? He still keeps it on. Maeda finds McGregor. McGregor shoots and he manages to get Celtic back into the game. The Celtic skipper, who's already booked for that hard tackle on one of the Rangers players, has managed to redeem himself right there. Amends his errors by giving a more important goal for Celtic to come back in this game. What a touch from McGregor. What a goal for Celtic.
Goal for Celtic, number 42, Callum McGregor.
But yeah, Celtic, after that one goal that Rangers have scored, Celtic have literally just turned on right there. Now Celtic are literally on the attack here. They could actually try to come back here. Now here's Furuhasi. Celtic players are literally on the support. Still Furuhasi. This could be 2-2. It is 2-2. Oh my word. Celtic have managed to actually come back here from being 2-0 down. And it's Furuhasi to actually complete the comeback. Scores the vital equalizer here for Celtic. And with that, we have a game on our hands. The best rivalry in Scotland is really giving some good twists and turns. And with that, we're back into level pegging terms. Sit back, folks, as this match might have its twists and turns at the end. Now here's Cyril Dessers. Dessers with a cool pass to Seema, who's already scored a goal. but it was too much for him as Joe Hart collects this one easily. He kicks it, but it's still with Rangers. Goldson has it. He finds Lundstrom. Lundstrom finds Ruskin. It's still Ruskin. Ruskin finds Lammers. Lammers finds Seema. But what a block here from Ralston for a second. And it's play on here. Celtic has the advantage. But as you already saw in the pass accuracy, Rangers have definitely dominated in terms of passing accuracy. But Celtic are literally on... They're literally on their tail. They've already caught up to Rangers here. Just after Rangers had a 2-0 lead. A 2-goal cushion over them. And this could have potentially been a chance for Celtic to actually throw a spit on the face here on Rangers. But Butland did collect this one. And now Rangers are on the attack. It's Lundstrom with a good cross to Tavernier. There's no one to actually mark him. It's still Tavernier. Tavernier shoots, but what a save from Joe Hart. However, it's going to be a booking here for Rangers. And it's a booking for Abdallah Sima. That is something that Rangers do not need here. A booking for a goal scorer. And now it's going to be a substitution here for Celtic. Turnbull comes in for Hatate. Comes off for Hatate. And Kieran Dowell comes off for Ryan Jack. But yeah, Seema is already booked. So now we have 2 bookings. McGregor being booked. And now Abdallah Seema. 2 goal scorers actually being booked. This is interesting here. But now Rangers have already have the possession. This is terrible here for Celtic. They need to switch on, man. Their defense has to switch on. Lundstrom has it. It's still Lundstrom. Rangers are literally on support. And that could have been a chance here for Rangers to take a more vital goal. A pretty much vital goal. But Dessers unfortunately mistimed the shot. As Joe Hart was pretty lucky right there. He tried to go for a scissor kick. Or for an acrobatic volley. But just couldn't go in favor of him. As Celtic were lucky that it actually didn't go in. They were lucky here. They managed to let this one out. But it's still with Rangers. Is there going to be time for one last attack? No. As it's going to be extra time to decide. To see who will win the Old Firm. Rangers had a 2-0 lead. But Celtic, out of nowhere, scored 2 goals in just 4 minutes. Obviously, that wonderful goal here from James Tavernier, the Rangers skipper. Too good for Joe Hart. And then they weren't done there. Rangers actually doubled their lead with a wonderful pass here from James Tavernier. Found Seema. And Seema actually doubles Rangers' lead. But however, Celtic didn't actually give up. However, they didn't show their first goal. But the second goal here from Furuhasi made the difference. As Celtic were able to come back and manage to not give Rangers a comfortable lead that easy. And as you already saw, the shots are literally just even. Rangers did dominate the ball possession slightly. But what a game we have on our hands here. It's going to be a classic extra time to decide to see who will win this tie. And looks like Abala comes off for Iwata. Talk about a lot of Asian players coming off. And Lundstrom comes off for Cifuentes. And now here's Celtic with it. Now here's Furuhasi with it. He literally has tired legs. He manages to cross this one. He finds Daizen, Maeda. Celtic were literally on the attack, but Barisic manages to tackle him. But literally, man, they're literally having tired legs. I think penalty shootout might probably be the call here for this derby to decide. I mean, penalty will only decide to see who will win this derby. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be very close, honestly. I mean, I don't know. Kartavikas has it. He finds Iwata. Still Iwata. He got nicked there. And it actually worked. And now here's Ruskin. He finds Cifuentes. Cifuentes finds Barisic. Barisic finds Cyril Dessers. who almost became a hero in that one last minute shot. And he tried to do it again to test Joe Hart there, but he saved that one. Tries to kick it, but it's still with Rangers. Could they have one last attack on their hands? Here's Dessers. Dessers finds Ryan Jack. It's Ryan Jack with it. Still Ryan Jack. Ryan Jack shoots. And oh my, it has really just went past Joe Hart there. And nothing to be separated at the first, after the first period of extra time. Still 2-2 at the end of halftime, extra halftime I would say. First period of extra time. But yeah, man, this is pretty close. I've never really seen this sorry, I fluffed my lines there. But I really haven't seen this match come into a drama-rama right there. But man, what a game we have on our hands, man. Furuhashi, man, this guy's literally the savior here for Celtic. If it wasn't for his equalizing goal, Rangers would have won that match. Jack Butland sadly could not save this one. But Rangers did dominate in terms of creating chances. They literally got 2 shots at the first period of extra time. Now it's the second period of extra time. As it stands, penalty shootout will be the only call to decide who will win the Old Firm. But looks like O'Reilly comes off and Sima comes off for Danilo. They didn't want to risk him getting a red card here. So Yang Hyun Jun, I think he's a South Korean player. Yang Hyun Jun comes on actually for O'Reilly. And with this first touch of the ball, he's actually created a lot of pace here and a lot of space here for the opposition. I mean, I don't know. The Celtic are on the attack. That's all I got to say here. Now here's Ralston. He finds Maeda. Still Maeda, but Suter with a good block. But with this first touch of the ball, he actually created a good chance. I mean, he tried to pass it to the players and they actually had it, but Rangers were there in the nick of time to actually defend this one, which actually slowed Celtic's attack there. And now Rangers, are they actually going to go defensive here? Are they going to rely on penalty shootout to decide the firm, the Old Firm? Or are they actually going to go for the match-winning goal? Here's Lammers. But what a tackle here from Starfelt. 1 minute of stoppage time here. Are Celtic going to get one last attack here, or is it going to be the penalty shootout to decide? It's Furuhashi, but it is going to be penalty shootout to decide who will win the Old Firm. Nothing to be separated here. Celtic were the heroes. They managed to score 2 unanswered goals on Rangers to really erase Rangers' 2-0 lead. And yup, just at the end of second period of extra time, Celtic and Rangers both remain locked at 2-2. But the penalty shootout will decide who will win this match. Obviously, the goal from Tavernier. We don't have to see this, but for the fans, it is something of a memorable thing. Obviously, a wonderful cross here from Tavernier. Found Sima. A wonderful touch from him. And a wonderful finish from him. However, Furuhashi, they were literally down by 1 goal after that goal from McGregor. Furuhashi did equalize this one. But there weren't realistic chances here after that. Apart from that Dessers attempt. But looks like Celtic are actually going to be the one to take the penalty first. And it's Maeda. Puts that on the right. Now here's Tavernier, the Rangers skipper, against Joe Hart. And Joe Hart almost saves this one, but Tavernier, cool, calm, collected, scores this one. And Furuhashi gives Celtic a much needed lead in the penalty shootout. Now here's Lammers. Lammers just does a Panenka on Joe Hart. Now here's McGregor, the player who actually started the comeback. And he was also the skipper of Celtic. Scores this one. Now here's Danilo. Danilo easily scored this one when Joe Hart went the wrong way. Now here's Young Hyun Jun. Easily scores this one. Butland goes the wrong way. Barisic. Could he slot this one or will Joe Hart saves this one? No. It's 4-4. Now it's Taylor. Taylor scores this one. It all comes down to this. If Dessers scores, it's going to be sudden death. But if Joe Hart saves this one, Celtic win. Looks like we're going to be going to sudden death here. This is very close than you think. Hatate scores. Again, pressure here for Rangers. Ryan Jack to take the decisive penalty. Will he score? Yes, he will. Still, it's going on and on. Now it's Ralston who had a pretty scare in injury crisis, in terms of injury, but he manages to score a Panenka and was lucky that he didn't come off because he wanted to contribute on the field. And now it's decisive. Raskin to take the decisive penalty. Scores again. 7-7. Now here's Iwata. Iwata goes to the left. Butland goes the wrong way. Suta to take the decisive penalty. Celtic fans are all over the all over the stadium here. Oh, Joe Hart, unlucky save from Joe Hart as Suta scores this one. Starfelt to take it, and Butland saves this one. Goldson to take the decisive penalty. Celtic are really scared. Will he save it? No, he doesn't. And Rangers have won the penalty shootout over their modern rivals and their biggest enemies, Celtic. What a memorable goal here from Goldson. A match-winning penalty goal here from Goldson. Joe Hart almost saves this one. It was a slow one. A slow kick from Goldson. But too bad Joe Hart didn't save that. He almost won the game, but unlucky for him, he didn't go out. As Rangers won the penalty shootout over their big rivals, Celtic. The small brothers do get a taste of glory and savor it, as this might be something that they have never done it in the past. Full time here after penalty shootout. It is Celtic 2, Rangers 2. Rangers winning in penalty shootout. Looks like we're not going to talk about the goals here. It was pretty close. Tavernier scores. Nothing much to say here. And then that wonderful goal here from Sima. But man, this was pretty close, man. Honestly, the Old Firm probably turned out to be the best rivalry ever. Because in the Barcelona-Real Madrid rivalry, it was one-sided. But at least this one turned out to be the best. Probably going to be the much better rivalry than the Manchester derby, I would say. Obviously, the match-winning penalty with Goldson gives a much-needed victory for Rangers in this match. What a game this was. Rangers winning on penalty over Celtic. A heartbreaking loss here for Celtic. They gave everything, but Rangers' passion and pride were the reason they got the job done over their big brothers. I really cannot wait to see how things go here. Can Celtic win the Premiership? We don't know. I mean, it's not over yet. But let's see. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll be back for our next episode and our next video. Goodbye. Hello guys, we're back, and just as we witnessed, sorry I kind of fluffed up my lines there. It was pretty close, honestly. But yeah, Rangers have actually won the Old Firm rivalry over Celtic, winning the game on penalties 9-8 but with a normal scoreline 2-2. But yeah, I mean, Rangers were the ones that actually dominated the game, but they allowed Celtic to come back in the game thanks to a goal from McGregor and Furuhashi scoring the equaliser. But Tavernier and Sima were the players that actually started the party here for Rangers until for Rangers to actually get their lead capitulated. So yeah. But despite Celtic's amazing comeback over Rangers, they still couldn't get the job done. They tried their best, but it's just that Rangers defense and their goalkeeper Jack Butland saved. That amazing save from Butland. I cannot believe it. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. Probably next week or this coming week, I may make one more video at least one video. I don't know, probably. It's kind of impossible to actually make two videos. I actually wanted to make Manchester United vs Blackburn Rovers and Liverpool vs Arsenal, because we're actually at the final leg of the title race here, the title race championship. So anyone can actually fumble up their match here. So yeah, but we're gonna see which match I was planning to do, either Blackburn Rovers vs Man United or Liverpool vs Arsenal. I might actually put that on the community post, so feel free to actually check my posts. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this one. This is Brisbane 05 Blaster here, signing off.